Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Life After Lockup Season 3, Episode 29. Good news, bad news. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, don't forget to share on any social media platform, and subscribe to my channel. You don't have to worry about continuously coming to check on me. What you need to do is subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, make sure that you accept all notifications, girl, and then that way YouTube will let you know when I put up a video. Okay, you guys, let's jump right into this episode. The first couple that we are going to talk about is Lamar and Andrea. So in this segment, Andrea has agreed to meet with Shantae. She wants to be there as Priscilla and Shantae forge a relationship. Why? The world may never know. It seems really possessive and inappropriate for Andrea to insert herself in the relationship between Shantae and Priscilla. I don't understand Andrea's initial reaction to Shantae. Shantae is a girl who lost her father for 18 years. And I think when a woman gets with a man who has a child, she needs to take into consideration the circumstances surrounding that relationship, that bond. And I think that she could have done a better job at being open and welcome to Shantae. The fact is that she made it seem like she didn't know Shantae was going to be a brat or someone that she was gonna have to fight with, or someone that's gonna be a bad influence on her kids. And so instead of just being an adult and meeting the problem head on, she chose to be petty, pull back, be possessive, and cause some friction between Lamar and his daughter. The daughter who he left, the daughter who he owes things to, that 7-year-old who lost their dad. Andrea and Shantae end up having a conversation about the situation, and it looks like they're gonna move forward in a positive direction. I mean, I know that Andrea isn't much older than Shantae, but I really feel like it was her responsibility to step up and think about the relationship between Lamar and Shantae and really be there to support Lamar in building a relationship with Shantae. That's his first child who he never took care of. She was just worried about herself and her own kids, thinking that Shantae was a bad influence, and that was a really way of coming at that. The next couple that we're going to talk about is Lindsay and Scott. Oh, you guys, I couldn't help but hee, cackle through this whole situation. We see Scott sitting outside with his dogs and a voiceover of him talking about how he decided that he was going to give a convict a chance. He did fall in love with Lindsay. He wanted to Captain Save Her ho. When Lindsay came out, she quickly showed him who she was. Now, they did cut back to a scene of Lindsay wanting to have sex with him and being kind of sexy in the bathtub. So it felt in the beginning that she was trying to be with him or show him love and appreciation or something, but I guess she was just really let down with all the things that he didn't give her. It turns out that while Lindsay was test driving a car, she was pulled over and a cop found a gun in the car, which wasn't hers because the car wasn't even hers. So my thought is like, you were test driving a car from a dealership, or you were like, hey, guy in this crack house next to me, let me run to the liquor store, let me borrow your car. She was in a car that had a gun in it. Was this car stolen? I wonder. Anyways, Lindsay's ass is in jail, and Scott is just like kicking his feet up, and he's like, I tried to give a convict a chance. She ain't want it. So, on to the next. I wonder how she feels that she really let Miley Grace down. How long was she out of prison before she went back in? She was in prison for 4 years. She has missed so much of that baby girl's life, and she makes it seem like everything she does is for Miley Grace. Lindsay really needs some healing. Okay, so the next couple that we are going to talk about is John and Christiane. Hey, we need more of them because they're bringing that good quality drama. John is out in a boot and he's hanging out with his friend, the man who officiated his marriage to Christiane. And is that her name? Christiana. Christiane is the girl's name. It's because I knew somebody named Christiane, and I thought it was such an interesting way of saying the word Christian. Think of Christiana, I think of Christiane. Okay, John has met with his shaman friend, and that friend is basically telling him that he has a pattern of behavior that has been the same since he's known John, and that is John likes to dip his hand in the cookie jar, okay? Even though he got a whole cake over here, he still want to dip his hand in the cookie jar. And this cookie jar happens to be Christiane's sister, Tara, who is living with him. And when John talks to the confessionals, they ask him, has he ever been faithful? And John admits that he has cheated on every single person he's been in a relationship with. You know, John is just a lover, man. He needs to be polyamorous. Monogamy is not his thing. It really isn't. So his friend is trying to give him some words of advice, basically telling him to shut it down with Tara, be open and honest before Christiane finds out. And John has no intentions of telling Christiane. He just wants her to watch the show and then find out that he's messing around with her sister. John then gets a phone call from Christiane telling him that she's getting out in 2 days and that the only caveat is that she can't live with anybody who has an open case. And that means that her sister Tara is going to have to find someplace else to live. So John has to break the news to Tara about this. And Tara feels like, listen, I'm not on probation. Like, why are you coming at me like this? I feel like this is just a ploy to get me out of the house because you don't want me to tell my sister about us. And John is like, unfortunately, like, my wife needs to live in a place where there's nobody with any open cases. And so you're going to have to go. And Tara's like, where am I supposed to go, John? In 2 days, where am I supposed to go? And John is like, I hate to do this, but I have to choose Christiane. And Tammy's like, John, I don't want them to have to choose. And I'm just like, Tammy, you don't have a pot to piss in either, ma'am. If you had your together and you had an apartment for them to come, well, it still wouldn't solve it. But listen, if Tammy had her together, Tammy and Tara could move out and then Christiane could have a place to stay. Tammy needs to take some blame for this as well. She the mama. So John is chosen. And Tara is going to be real shady about it. Tara is absolutely going to tell Christiane that John has been flirting with her. They might as well just become sister wives. Let it happen. You know what's crazy? I really do feel like there's some kind of friction between Tara and Christiane. Like, they are not close. And Tara is not a good sister. She's trifling. So she will forever be known as Trifling Ass Tara. The next couple that we are going to talk about is Shane and Lacey and John. This again was just another little weird filler segment with them. Last segment, we got him finding out about John and being, you know, passive aggressive with Lacey, trying to figure out what she's done since John has announced his, you know, exit from prison. And then she's like, I'm carrying your baby. Like, I wouldn't run around behind your back. So in this segment, again, Shane is being passive aggressive, talking about getting a new door, getting more locks on the door, more security, because he doesn't want any crackheads to be running up in his house. And by crackheads, he's talking about John, and he doesn't want John to have access to their home or do any crazy shit or vandalize their home while he's not there, while she's not there. Also, he also just doesn't want John in his house. And this is his way of letting Lacey know. Lacey is in the bathroom, you know, with a sponge, just cleaning the bathroom a little bit, while he's running around trying to figure out if he should get a better door. Then we have a small scene of John having a conversation with Miranda, who is Lacey's best friend from high school, and John knows Miranda from high school as well. And Miranda ends up telling John that Lacey is pregnant with Shane's baby. She feels bad that she had to be the bearer of bad news, but somebody needed to tell John because John was running around the city acting a fool trying to figure out about Lacey. So he asks Miranda whether or not Lacey was the one who called the police on him. And Miranda's like, I don't know, but does it really matter? Like, you just need to move on. However, if you do need any help, you need anyone to talk to, as Lacey's best friend, you know, I'm available. Because we basically like twins, she and I. We the same. So if you want to like meet up, you know where I live. And John's like, all right, I'll definitely give you a call then. Without that accent. The next couple that we are going to talk about is Marcelino and Britney. Britney and Marcelino are packing up their brood and getting ready to go to Alaska. Marcelino is like, look, my people's is from the Caribbean island, okay? We don't do snow, ice, and cold. Cindy is getting overwhelmed with the idea of seeing her mother again. Marcelino says that Alaska is beautiful. He doesn't want to live here, but it's definitely very beautiful. And they pull up to Jackie's address. They go inside, and Jackie is sitting on her couch, you know, sitting in a lazy boy. And she sees Britney, Marcelino, and the kids, and she's hugging on them. She's holding the youngest baby. And then Cindy comes into the house, and it's supposed to be a surprise because she hasn't seen her in about 2 years. Cindy gives her flowers, they hug, they're crying. It's a good tearful moment. Marcelino takes the kids outside because he doesn't want his kids to have anything to do with this, like, you know, cesspool of alcoholism and drama. Britney stays there to support her mother. Cindy ends up telling Jackie how she felt and revealing a lot of information to Britney, a lot of information that parallels Britney's life, running away a lot, seeing their parent doing drugs and getting high. And Jackie says that that's all she knew, that her parents got high and drunk all the time. And so she didn't have anything to give to Cindy, anything new. And then Cindy's like, no, you could have stopped having those parties. You could have protected me from all the men that would come into my room. Jackie's like, well, you should have told me. Cindy's like, well, I just wanted to let you know that a lot of the problems I'm having now is because of my childhood, because of you. And Jackie's like, I didn't pour the drink down your throat. I didn't put the needle in your arm. So it's not my fault. And this upsets Cindy to the max. And so you think it's going to be a good moment. You think Jackie's going to be like, yeah, I've had these 2 years to reflect and I'm really sorry for everything that I did. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there for you. Cindy did not get that. Basically saying that, like, look, I didn't tell you to do drugs. You saw me doing it, but it's not my fault. You should have known better. Cindy can't handle it and she gets upset and she leaves. I know Britney is just frustrated, and Britney's like, the only reason Jackie's not doing the things that she used to do when we were little is because she's too old to do it. She says that at some point Jackie took her out on Fremont and tried to pimp her out for drug money. For these people to be as druggy as they once were, they're doing pretty okay now. I mean, the fact is that until Cindy started acting up recently, like, she had a whole husband for 22 years that she's worried about visiting into this lifestyle, yet seemed to be doing. Jackie has a whole house. I don't know, but it's just so interesting to me. The final couple that we're going to talk about today is Cuellon and Chevelle. Chevelle decides to take Cuellon into the Ferris wheel so that they could have a real private conversation with the cameraman. Cuellon is like, listen, this is not for me, okay? Like, I'm not trying to be in no little box up in the sky. And Chevelle gets him to go in. And so they go in and Chevelle's like, listen, what are we gonna do? Because I need commitment. You really hurt me. I thought we were in this for the long run. Cuellon is like, you're my day one. You saved me. So don't think that I don't know that. Don't think that I don't appreciate you. Don't think that I don't love you. And Chevelle's like, I need some kind of commitment. Like, I need you to do something to let me know that you're in this for real. And Cuellon then pulls out a ring and he gets on his knees and he's like, is this what you want? Is this what you're talking about, commitment? Here, marry me. And Chevelle's like, okay, dang. He's like, will you marry me or whatever I'm supposed to say? And she's like, yes. And he doesn't know what hand to put it on. They sit next to each other. And girl, Chevelle breaks down, girl. Down. And let me tell you, I would have been in that situation absolutely. Like, not expecting to ever be married and have it finally happen in a semi-romantic situation caught on camera, girl. I would have been crying too. He's like, come on, let's get out of this Ferris wheel so I can go meet up with your punk ass cousin. And she's like, don't talk about my cousin that way. Tee hee hee hee. Look at my ring. Look at my ring. It looks like it's a happily ever after type situation. However, the teaser for next week seems like Chevelle's trying to shut down production. Something must have happened. All right, you guys, so that's the end of this episode. Let's have a kiki and a conversation down in the comment section. Let me know what you thought. I'm really excited for Chevelle and Cuellon next episode. What are you excited for next episode? If you guys got to the end of this video, go ahead and drop a rose in the comment section. The little rose emoji, drop that in the comment section. There might not be a video from me next week because I might be having surgery next Friday. If you do see one from me, then I got the COVID, and that's the only reason why I'm not having surgery. All right, you guys, have a fantastic week, and remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Oh, don't forget to thumbs up this video. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and share on any social media platforms that you deem fit. All right, bye.